We are in starting soon. All right, YouTube is up and running. My wife picked this exact moment to mow the lawn.
Did you just announce that on live that your wife mows your lawn?
Hey. Hey.
Sorry. That was a big ass bus. You rolled in the foundry with that bus, but I made sure that you backed that thing up once or twice to make sure you got it.
No, have you seen the pasty skin of this man? I mean, you want him to go out in the sun and explode.
I mean, you're calling the kettle pasty for.
Oh no! I'm not saying I'm any different. I'm not saying that. No, see, that's the thing. When you hit a certain low melanin count, like the sun just makes you explode like a vampire.
See, for me, it's not the sun. It's all the tree jizz.
Oh.
This is why it's a mature, nerdy podcast.
Yes.
I hope a lot of people got that.
The yellow plague.
Yeah. It's a bit rough this year.
Yeah, we just got the new place, and when we moved in, there was a big bush in the back, and it was sticks because we moved in at the end of October, and it's Illinois. And spring is just starting to happen, and I go out and I open the door, and it looks like one of those cherry blossom trees that you see in the background of Japan. And I was like, oh crap. So every day since, I've had red eyes and a stuffy nose, and I've just been like, it looks so pretty.
Excuse me.
Of course they would want to randomly update.
Nope, that's not what I wanted.
I just wish Windows was a little more honest about itself. Just a little pop-up comes up and says, hey, fuck you, we're restarting.
God, that's the funniest thing. Did you ever see? Did y'all see Air Force, the Netflix series?
No.
They had a scene in there where a satellite's crashing into the planet and it's getting ready to fall down, and they needed to do some last second calculations to be able to get the planet, to get the satellite to stay up there in orbit. And right when they turn on the computer to start doing calculations, Microsoft was like, I'm updating.
Oh, you mean Space Force?
That's what I said. Oh, I did say Air Force. My bad.
You totally said Air Force.
I did say Air Force. Sorry, Space Force.
All right. Well,
yeah. And then John Malkovich had a line. He was like, "Fuck Microsoft." It's so funny. It's so good.
All right. We good to go? I guess we'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, I'll be back in a minute.
That's what I was saying. No, for wild.
All right, here we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Griffcast episode 111, the mature nerdy podcast for immature people, the show where we talk about any and all things nerds, from video games, comic books, movies, computer technology, and or science, up to and including classifying the Big Mac as lasagna. Welcome to the show. I'm your host and King Neckbeard Griff Moore. And I may have confused a few people with that one.
How many layers of McDonald's meat are you looking to eat, man?
I know, right? Can you imagine though, if you had a tray and you just line 6, 3 in a row 2, and then another 6 on top of that, so I guess 12 total, and then just throw a shitload of cheese in there to get it to all stick together and then bake that bitch. Now, I haven't had McDonald's because, There's some fast foods I won't tolerate and some fast foods I do tolerate. I don't know. Is Five Guys considered fast food? That's like the fastest food I go for.
I wouldn't say. I mean,
It's like fastest. It's like
Anything where you have to take out a mortgage to pay for it does not count as fast food.
if it has a drive-through, it's fast food. And
okay, so then Five Guys wouldn't be considered because it doesn't have a
I
drive-through.
fuck with Chick-fil-A though.
Yeah.
I fuck with Chick-fil-A. Other than that, Chick-fil-A, Five Guys, like I said, those are fast foods that I fuck with. All right. But if you bring me a Big Mac lasagna, I might fuck that bitch up.
Oh, what is going on? Why is my shirt?
I might fuck that bitch up. I would.
What did they do?
She might get down.
Yeah. I don't know.
I do kind of miss McDonald's sometimes, man. Those French fries, though.
I like Wendy's fries.
Wendy's is just the best fast food.
It
Wendy's
is.
is the best fast food. Like back when I was eating fast food, yeah, Wendy's is the best, man.
Yeah.
Wendy's has the best thing all over.
Give me a minute. I gotta restart. I'm sorry. It's glitching out on me.
No.
We can see and hear you just fine.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I mean, you look good, at least from my end.
yeah, it's glitching out on mine. Hold on.
Just ignore it.
Yeah, you're making a face on mine. Oh, there he goes.
And Wild will be back shortly due to technical difficulties. Oh. So, what y'all been getting into this week? My list is pretty short.
Rogue Trader. I had finally finished Kingmaker, and I was like, it's either Rogue Trader or I go back and finish Wrath of the Righteous, so I chose Rogue Trader.
So, was this the Kingmaker DLC, or was this... Because you've been on Kingmaker for a hot minute.
Yeah. And I've been like... There is a very long stretch of the middle of the game where you get like a absolute ton of side quests. Mm-hmm. And they're like, you can skip this if you want, or you can play for like 300 or 400 hours if you want. So I just ran around and did everything, explored the map. Like, tried to make time so like when the kingdom management table came up, I could do all the quests that I wanted to do, that kind of thing.
Right. Because that's all what basically Act 3 is, right?
Most of it is the table, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're done exploring. You've seen everything. You don't really have to like, oh, we have to go over there to get this, so we have to go over there to get that. And by the time that you build all your teleportation circles, so you don't have to worry about that crap no more, and you're like, haha, you don't get to use them anymore.
Yeah.
I look amused, right?
Oh, let's see. Trying to think what I've done besides watch Fallout and play and make magic decks. Not much.
Same. Watch Fallout. Still ass deep in Helldivers. Just so deep in that game. It's the only thing I do with my life right now. I don't know why.
I'm fostering two puppies. I ain't got time for nothing else.
Fair enough.
Puppies.
All right. So just show our hands real quick so we know where we're at when we get to the last couple of topics. Who all has watched and or finished Fallout?
You want to say Helldivers?
I did want to say Helldivers.
I have not even started it.
Okay.
I had to finish it last night because I knew we were going to talk about it today.
Okay.
Nah,
I know we're going to shoot for spoiler-free stuff, but
Is it actually good?
It is.
Dude, it was actually good. I mean, like,
Okay.
dude, are the games plots that good though?
Oh, they're better.
Have we really?
Yeah.
Dude, I played some of the games. I'm like, I never get fucked because I always think the games are dumb and I think they're bad. And I never understood why people liked them. And I was like, how does anyone like these games? They're not that good. And dude, and like I'm like comparing them like to the games of the times that were coming out because comparing them.
I think it's all about the immersion of the.
I guess I could buy that, but like I was playing these games. I'm like, the gameplay is doo doo. The UI is not great. I'm like, I didn't understand the mechanics. The mechanics is dumb, and like the slow motion and like choosing the hit area or whatever. Like, you have like a 14% chance of hitting this, and I'm like, but
I mean, you got Fallout Puritans that will like knife each other over Fallout 4 because some of them are like, Fallout 4 isn't a real Fallout game, blah 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 blah. But every one of them still likes Nick Valentine. Like one of the companions still loves him.
Fuck with dog meat. Dog meat was the dog, right? Yeah. I fuck with some dog meat. I think I had him. I think I got far enough to at least get dog meat right.
Yeah,
I think I played
you get like
played New Vegas.
20 feet out of the first settlement and you meet dog meat.
Yeah.
It's like the first living thing you come across.
Man, I don't know why I didn't like them. I thought the graphics were fucking trash. I thought the graphics were just terrible.
Just because of how big the damn games were.
I don't disagree with you. I mean...
Hey. All right, we'll come back to this when we get there. All right, we're going to shut down the whole show and just talk about Fallout. All right, so CP, you finished Invincible Season 2, right?
I did.
What about you, Solips?
I like Solips too.
Oh yeah, I finished watching it.
All right, so what'd you guys think overall?
Well, I mean, it's got me, certainly wanting more for sure. So like before the rest of season 2 had come out, I was watching like just some random clips on YouTube of people talking about the comic book. So I've never actually seen the comic book or watched it or read it myself. But according to like what people were talking about, it seemed like they were kind of matching everything like almost beat for beat, aside from like maybe a few things here and there, like Mark's girlfriend. She wasn't exactly the same character. Instead of being a white chick, she was a black chick, and her personality was different. But aside from that, it seemed like a lot of things were kind of the same. Maybe they did things faster than the comic book. But yeah, I don't know. Aside from that, I thought it was pretty decent.
I can agree with that. That's been my impression as well. I think Grizz has mentioned it a couple of times. I think he read the graphic novels or comic books, however you want to refer to them. He said they were spot on. I think other people said they were spot on. Following it pretty closely, and
except for Amber.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing I noticed that seemed to be different.
Yeah, she was a bit definitely kind of like I don't want to say the C word. I know it's mature, but I don't want to say it. But yeah, I mean, she kind of was like in the first season at least. In the second season, she was definitely better. I felt she was better. She was more accepting, and she understood like what he was going through. And do it, and she wanted to be with him. I don't think they're a good match for each other, and I think they could make it, but lifestyle's tough. You don't know if she can really get through it. So I definitely don't hate her character. I don't think I really hated her character in the beginning. I just understood that she was there to provide that personal conflict for him, having to choose between like Spider-Man, having to choose between the civilian life or the superhero life. And she helps provide that conflict a little bit more, that internal struggle.
No, I'm curious. Oh no, I'm sorry.
No, you good.
I'm curious of something from someone who has actually read the novels and everything. Was Levi Engstrom like more of a significant character than what he was in the show?
He is an enormously significant character in the Invincible comics are kind of all shaped in like different stages of like puberty and growing up. Uh-huh. And he is kind of like the end of like that driver's age phase of quote unquote of Invincible.
Because I mean, I realize with this character they could always bring him back probably in various ways just because he is who he is. But yeah, I was curious, like, is that how it was in the comic book too? Did he get like killed like that? Like a version of him got killed, I guess.
Spoiler alert. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right?
Spoiler alert.
Well, look, if anyone hasn't seen it, I mean,
well, I will
that's
say
on you.
that it is comic accurate.
Okay.
But you will, like, unless they decide to just rewrite history, you will see him again.
Okay,
which is also comic accurate.
Well, yeah, I guess I'm curious, like, is season 3 gonna like really change things and make it different than the comic book? Like, do you think it will, or?
No, I doubt they will. I think they will change like little things, but they're not going to like veer off into the stratosphere. They're not going to pull a Walking Dead, where like, the first season was kind of alike, and then they just went fucking left field.
Mm-hmm. don't know. I had a theory that maybe they were gonna like go somewhere not like drastically different, but because there's so many different like versions of that universe, because of like the the whole time shift and everything, or the parallel universes. I could see them doing maybe their own thing with the show because they already did something in the comic book, and also just because they changed a few characters here and there. I was curious. I feel like maybe they could, but who knows?
Yeah, there is some multiversal like chicanery that happens in the comics. That is its own storyline. That like I knew when they started season 2 they couldn't fit it in. So I'm like, okay, are you going to do it now? Are you going to do it later? What are you going to do?
Right.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't go into it as hard as they could have, but it's good to they let you know that it was there, but they really didn't mess with it too much. And I felt the same way about Langstrom. That's opposite. Like when I first saw him, I was like, dude, he's Sterling K. Brown voicing him too. I was like, yo, let's go. He's gonna be up in this. And then they only had like snippets of him like here and there, but I loved him in the finale. Like he owned that episode, and that was all this episode, and that's what I kind of wanted throughout the entire season. I felt like it was be mostly that, and then like him going off and having his shenanigans. Like having to stay somewhere else. Go to Mars. That was a good episode too. But I don't know. I feel like not too much happened in this season. It was mostly like them trying to set things up, especially with how,
That's what it feels like, yeah.
Yeah, they were just setting things up, especially with, Alan the alien, going to the prison and being in the prison. And I was just like, oh, okay, guess he just got there. We're not going to investigate this storyline a little bit more. That's all the next season. Great.
Oh, hi.
So, and then, I mean, I felt like they could change a few small things here and there, but like if it's following the storyline pretty closely with how he handled Langstrom in the end, I was hoping that Mark was going to be able to talk him, communicate a little bit more about who he actually is and be like, yo, I might be invincible, but I'm not your invincible. I'm invincible, but I'm not yours. I'm different. I'm not that same person. I didn't do any of the things that you think I did. Whether you think I'm going to do them or not, I'm going to try not to do them. But you doing this is going to help me do them, maybe not. So I feel like he was going to talk him out of that situation. Langstrom was going to have like a mental issue and just like, I don't know what I'm doing, and then just like vanish, go off in the darkness, and then come back later. And then I was like, maybe he does snap. Maybe like I don't know. Maybe do I need to read the comics? I kind of don't want to read the comics. So I'm just enjoying it. But. Who knows how he's going to turn out? I mean, I guess other people know. Do know how he's.
I haven't read the comics, but like I've seen so many videos of people talking about the comics. I know some things that are going to happen, and
I know one thing they don't have the balls to do.
Oh yeah, what's that?
You say that, and then. Dude, they're gonna treat it like
I can't say that on stream, man. I ain't gonna get it.
They're gonna treat it like the boys. The boys is always trying to push the boundary and keep things and just.
Yeah, I love the boys.
Everyone loves the boys. I mean, and it's animated. I mean, if they can put a tiny man and a huge dick on screen, live action, then a cartoon they can draw whatever they want. I mean,
you're making a point.
Oh.
Nobody wants to follow up huge dick on screen? Come on.
Dude, I mean,
I ain't got enough to follow a huge dick on screen.
Do I want to? Can I? Would I normally? Sure. Do I think that streaming that live would be a great idea? No.
We're on the wrong websites for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought about it, but then they banned it in our state.
Not mine. Come on down for only Fupa.
Oh, not that one. That one's perfectly fine.
oh yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one's still good.
Yeah.
I'm an innocent
All the
child.
other ones though.
The one with
My mom might be
the
watching this later. I have no idea what these guys are talking about. Let you know that.
I mean, VPNs do exist.
I mean, very true. And there are a couple that are free.
Anywho,
Moving on.
don't mind me. I'm just sitting here petting my purse dog.
You had a little bit too much of a pause there. You had a little bit too much of a pause.
I mean, she ain't mixed with the dash
Is that
hound.
what you call it now? Is that?
He's petting his pooch.
I don't know. I thought you were gonna say, you're petting your pocket something. You're petting your. You said purse dog. You could have said purse.
I mean, I was wondering if she was done mowing the lawn, but okay.
Yeah, you wouldn't catch her in here. Not while that camera's on. Anywho,
From matured and nerdy to X-rated and nerdy.
I mean, there is the "Are you 18 to watch" button. So, all right. So Grizz dropped a comment in our Discord that actually makes a little bit of sense, and I wanted to talk about it. Early access is just late release if you're poor.
Am I wrong?
I mean, kind of not wrong.
Do you have more disposable income? All right, now you can play the game 3 days sooner.
Now, here's something that I dislike. Like, I don't mind early access. I mind early access when there's a competitive element.
I was just gonna say that because they've done that for like Call of Duty and like other multiplayer games before.
Yeah.
They'll do that. Then you get a competitive edge. You get unlocked sooner.
Oh, sorry. Go. You're free. Or don't go. You can stay. Are you sure? Okay.
Yeah, that's lame. So like you get a 3-day start. Ranking up your classes, unlocking weapons. It's unfair. I mean, you really need it 3 days earlier. I mean, other people already have to work their jobs and go to work 9 to 5, 11 to 11, 7 to 7, work night shift.
Like if it's a single player RPG, go for it. Because those type of games.
Well, that's what the game is. And this, that sparked the comment.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It is. But at the same time. All right. Go. Sorry. Had to release the dog.
I heard that song the other day.
It keeps popping up.
What are you doing?
It's
Walking
at
to
a
a
gas
90s
station.
cafe? A retro cafe or something? No.
Does anybody listen to that song because they like it?
I don't know. It came on and I was like, wait, did people actually play this? Like, unironically, this is actually playing? I stopped. I was like, oh my God.
All right. Where was I going? Oh, yeah. So there's two things I don't like when it comes to early access. One is when the game has a competitive element. And two is when they're like, hey, pay us so you can play the demo. And by if you want into this beta, pay us and we'll let you into the beta. No, you're letting me pay you to play the demo.
Yeah. Wait, but what do you mean by that? As in you have to pre-order, so you either pay and buy the game early to get access to the demo, but you're not talking about you can buy the demo for $3, $5.
No, which is also a thing, which I think is the dumbest thing out there. But no, I mean if you pre-order, we'll give you access to the beta.
Mm-hmm. I think that's trash too. That's
yeah. And I'm guilty of doing that. Diablo 4.
I've done it.
Because it's mostly what the thing is. Because it's not even a beta. Because they do it 2 or 3 weeks before the game actually launches, and you're supposed to use your beta time to alpha and beta time to fix problems with the game. But you're not gonna fix problems in that time.
No,
you just call it what it is. It's a server stress test.
Yeah.
And to make sure that the game is actually, I guess, the term that I hate, gone golden.
Yeah, and if your server stress test is trash, then I'm just going to cancel my pre-order and, thanks for letting me have the test drive.
God, That was the only thing I used to use GameStop for after a while. I'd just go to GameStop and pre-order games because it's just $5. I mean, if you pre-order digitally, you're locked in, you're committed.
Yeah.
But you do it at GameStop. I could put $5 down, good to go, then turn right back around and be like, I want my money back. And I already got the receipt. I already got the receipt with the beta code. I think you mentioned this before, but you said that like GameStop started catching on to that and like they could cancel your beta code. Yeah, whatever.
I think it would be a lot to just go. I mean, probably not a lot to go through and cancel the beta code, but
well, whatever. Then I just get my $5 after the beta happens.
I mean, even look at Steam. I mean, if you do it like when Dark Tide came out, like it had its own different client, so it didn't count over the 2-hour limit if you decided to play the beta. So if you decided, okay, well, I played the beta for like 150 hours. I don't know when to play the regular game. Okay, you could have returned it.
I just made myself angry talking about pre-orders. being only able to put like $5 down because I just like had a thought to myself that's like why when the new console gen came out, why everyone was having a tough time getting that shit.
It's because each store had a limited access to a specific amount.
Yeah, but like, it's gonna sound evil when I say it, but like, people are like, oh, I only got to put down like $10 to secure the console. So people rush it up. A bunch of people that don't have the money to buy the console up front at full price. We're just putting down a shit ton of money, or not down a shit ton of money, but like
essentially you could go through
stealing the pre-orders and then it's releasing them,
reselling them,
still not having it. And,
I
don't know. I probably didn't have.
I think when it comes to physical devices like that, they need to stop with the online purchasing of pre-orders.
Well, if you buy it online, you have to pay for it in full.
You do, but it doesn't stop people from buying like 400.
Oh, yeah, true. I mean, they would have it so you limit only, one per transaction, but people would.
And then somebody just makes a bot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, limit it one per address.
They just put in a fake ass address
to be delivered to. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you set it, so you can technically go through and set up the same address and just have like apartments 1, 2, 3, and then it'll still technically come to your address, but in the system it'll show up as like an apartment.
So now you're a porch pirate. Stealing people's packages.
Look, and I just seen a video the other day. Somebody went to
it's got my name on it. They just wrote down the wrong address.
Well, all I'm saying is if in like the span of like a minute and a half, an entire apartment complex orders the brand new game console, maybe somebody should flag the order and be like, let me just double check the map. I'm gonna hit the Google map. Make sure that you.
They claim they were.
What's Google Street View say? Oh no, that's a house. No, sir.
If it shows up. I've been running into some areas where Street View don't show up.
Guy in the Street View car was like, nope, not going here. Nope.
He's like, nah, fam, not in this area.
You have to put in your social.
Click. Door is locked.
But I mean, there definitely needs to be a failsafe for that.
I mean, some of the companies, like especially like the GPU crisis and the console crisis, they were trying to do it. And like, I felt like Best Buy probably did one of the best things. Was like they would like put you in a queue. I forgot like it exactly. It's not just like being put in the queue, but like how they put you in the queue.
Yeah.
And like, and so on and so forth. Like you still have to like interact in like some human capacity to get through the queue instead of just being a bot.
All right, so Paramount is apparently working on a live action Last Ronin, which for those who don't know is about the last surviving member of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Is that what I shared? I thought it was just an original TMNT.
It's a comic strip. It's a comic strip made by the original authors and creators of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, I didn't read the last Ronin part. I just saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live action show. The Last Ronin. Because he looks badass as fuck.
Yep.
He looks like he's about to put in a lot of fucking work.
Well, I mean, the publishing house that owns Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and like published The Last Ronin and all that shit, like they lost the Transformers and the G.I. Joe licenses recently, and the person who took them over is killing it with them. Like they're selling gangbusters, where IDW couldn't sell anything. So IDW is now like publishing The Last Ronin 2 because they're like, it was the last thing that sold.
Because it was made by the original creator.
Yeah.
Did you say the company that's making the Transformer movies is killing it? Is that what you just said?
The Transformers comics.
Yeah.
Yeah, Transformer and G.I. Joe comics, when they were being published by the same publisher that did The Last Ronin, like they were not selling very well. They were selling very, very badly. And then when the license got pulled, when it came up for renewal and somebody else took it, like all of a sudden they're doing really well. They're selling more merchandise. They're making money. And yeah.
It's not because of the Michael Bay movies, is it?
No.
Okay.
All right. Apparently also Xbox is starting to work on their next console.
Already?
Yeah.
Well, it's not surprising. I mean, I feel like they usually start on the next console like right when they, within like a year or so after they release, maybe even before they release. Like,
Yeah, they might let have their top engineers have a 6-month break and then they're done.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm surprised they're even making another console. I mean, can't you like play Xbox games on anything?
Almost. It all comes down to what they allow Xbox Live to be played on. And they're down for putting Xbox Live on other platforms. Just the other platforms don't want Xbox on their platform.
Oh, okay.
Well, they're also selling budget, like a budget game platform, but that's it. Like, I want to be able to play all these really cool games. I don't want to spend $2,000 to make a really high-end PC. Can you give me something where all the games are tailored to what the system can handle? Okay, Here you go.
Honestly, I think the biggest thing that held back this console for the Xbox was the needed backwards compatibility with the Xbox One S.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they didn't do that, the X, I think, would have been a lot more popular than it is. But that's something for another day. All right, let's drop down into some paradox theories. All right, everybody's familiar with the Fermi paradox, right? For listeners, the Fermi paradox is if the universe is infinite, then the chance for us of there being, not for us, but the chance for there being life outside of us should also be technically infinite, but we also cannot perceive life elsewhere, regardless of what planets we can see within the Goldilocks zone. Now, apparently there's a new theory that answers the Fermi paradox, which I can get behind, but I also had another theory to put behind this as well. It's called the Great Filter. And what the Great Filter is that, let me try English. I'm still stuffy, if you can't tell. The Great Filter is societies will hit a certain threshold of technological advancement and then collapse. Think Terminator, where we'll come up with some sort of great AI and it decides that humanity is no longer needed and decides to eradicate humanity. So basically that's the Great Filter. I can see it, but I would also like to lay out another hypothesis. Are you guys familiar with the, I think it's called the behavioral slip?
Behavioral?
Not immediately.
Would you say behavioral slit? Or
Slip. I think it's called behavioral slip. Let me double check.
Did Double checking.
Sorry, behavioral sink.
Behavioral sink. Still
Yeah.
no.
Okay. So,
Isn't it like having your mind in the gutter?
no. Yes, but no. All right. So the behavioral sink was a series of experiments done between the 1960s and the 1970s, where a ethologist, John Calhoun, created a series of rat utopias, and he made them basically, what's the proper term? He basically made them socialist paradise, where there's a plethora of food available, there's a plethora of space, there's plethora of water available. You don't have to fight for anything. Everything is readily available for everybody. And what eventually happened was, he theorized that there would be a cap on where the population would cap out at, but it capped out a lot sooner than that. And basically all of the rats, they stopped breeding. There became a 96 mortality rate on infants and children. Breeding became not about breeding, but about establishing dominance. Certain the mice and rats that should have been dominant would become subservient. And basically they had an entire societal collapse because nobody had to fight for anything.
So basically, without struggle, life is meaningless.
Basically.
That's kind of what I got from that.
And it wasn't that he did this experiment once. He actually did this experiment, I believe, 8 to 10 times. And it gets a lot more heinous than what I explained. I highly recommend you look into it. It's called the behavioral sink.
Sink is spelled S-I-N-K.
Yes.
I thought it was like S-Y-N-C.
Oh, like in sync. No. It's sink as in a sink.
It's weird.
But yeah, so like, I mean, the way you think about it, like think about how a lot of our greatest issues stem from the most densely populated areas where everything's available.
I think one of the also key descriptions of that is where everything is available. You don't have to struggle to get much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's weird also how you define struggle, because how some people describe struggle in the USA is, I'm working 40 hours a week, making $25 an hour, and I could barely make ends meet. Whereas, struggle in other parts of the country is, I made $3 this week, but at least I have ramen.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own struggle.
Everyone has their own struggle.
They do, but the key word there is has a struggle.
Yeah.
Like, if you do not challenge yourself, you will collapse in on yourself. Is basically the end of it. And like, I could see this experiment being able to be used as a basis of example for humanities, because like this experiment is looked back on when it comes to like building roads and infrastructure and things like that. They're like, what can we do to prevent this from happening to society? So just a little bit of thought, food for thought there. But I mean, that's my hypothetical theory that could apply to the Fermi paradox. Is societies will reach a certain threshold, have everything available to them, and then just collapse in on themselves because there's nothing to work for.
I kind of think maybe that's what's happened to previous civilizations that just seemed to like mysteriously just disappeared and just wiped out for no reason. I like to think maybe they got to a point where they were just doing too good. And in fact, so good that they literally just couldn't handle it no more. And they either disbanded or just destroyed each other.
Yep. Which is, I'm going to use this as a segue, which is an example of what happened to some of the vaults within Fallout.
Okay.
That was rough, but okay, go for it.
I tried. All right, so we're going to jump into the topic of the Fallout show. Before we hop into that, I guess because of all the hype behind Fallout, they are getting ready to release a next-gen patch and update to Fallout 4. They're also going to be adding new DLC.
I have
Really?
thought about revisiting the Fallout games as well
Yeah.
because of this. I need to see if I own any of them. I might own 4.
I own 3 and 4. So here's how I'm coming into this. I am not the biggest Fallout fanboy. I have only played 3 and 4. I have not played 1, 2, New Vegas, any of that. And I understand that New Vegas is hands down one of Fallout fans' biggest, favorite games.
Dude, I hated New Vegas. I really didn't like it. No. I didn't, because I don't know. Maybe I need.
Oh, it's on major deal right now.
If you have Amazon Prime, all Fallout games are free. Yep.
Damn.
So I think you have to sign up for their Amazon service. They're like their Amazon gaming service, but all of the games are free if you have Amazon Prime right now.
So what? I'm guessing you just go to the Prime Gaming page.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh, yeah.
Just remember, download those things one at a time, because every time you download one, you got to get like 14, 15 mods to make it work.
Ooh, sweet. Fallout 4 is on Game Pass. Holler
Should be, yeah.
at your boy. It's also on sale for 75% off.
That's why I said, bro. That's why I said.
If you get it in Game Pass, you do not get the DLC. You don't get it. Like, I don't care what Game Pass says, you just don't get it. But if you buy it for like $1.99 or whatever the hell it is now.
So if I buy it on Steam, then I'll get the DLC. I gotta go to Steam. Gotta go to Steam. Steam, what are we doing over here, team? Store. Everybody.
All right.
Wait. Oh wait, but you said it's free on Amazon. How do I redeem it?
I think so right now I'm on it. It's giving me Fallout 76 PC version.
Oh, I ain't doing that. No.
And then they also have Xbox version. That's the and Fallout Tactics.
Oh, so it's not Fallout 4. It's only Fallout 76.
Hold on a minute.
It should be all of them.
You could pay me to buy Fallout 76, and I still won't do it.
It's giving Luna.
I've heard Fallout 76 is a lot better than it was when it started.
I know it's improved, but still.
Yeah. I'm still iffy on that.
They've had to do so much to it, though.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but it's like, do I want to jump into a live game where everybody's been playing for years and I'm starting brand new? It's like, what am I going to be limited to? All right, so we're going to talk about the Fallout show. So only me and CP have watched it, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Who here has a thought to watch it or is thinking of watching it?
I'll watch it anyway.
I'll watch it just to watch it.
Okay. So we're going to start being...
Depending on what you say, I may watch it. Let's put it that way.
All right.
Here, I'll start by saying this, because it's by the same director and I think a couple of the same writers. Did y'all like Westworld Season 1?
Season 1?
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, Westworld Season 1 was fucked. That was a dope-ass series. Season 2 was okay, and then they kind of just... They went... I still wanted to finish it, though. They still claim they're going to finish it. Jonathan Nolan says he's going to finish it. I don't know how he's going to finish it.
Season 2 was really good. Like, when they got the Shogun World, that was like...
Yeah, but it was they were trying. I didn't really like season 2 because they were trying to recapture the magic that they had in season 1, and you can't recapture that magic once it's out of the bottle.
No.
Once it's out of the bottle, you can't recapture that. So it was obvious what they were trying to do, and you're like, I can see this from a mile away, so it's not gonna work. For Fallout 4, they were trying to recapture. It's not the same magic, but it's close. It's close, and I was just started seeing it. I was like, "Yo, it's good." So Fallout 4, the Fallout series was, yeah. Continue.
So we're gonna start spoiler free, and then when we start talking about spoilers, I'll give you guys a heads up so you can close out and come back later and tell us what you think, or give us hate speech, whatever you want to do. All right. So overall, is it the best show I've ever watched? No. Is it one of the better video game to live action translations? Yes. I actually can't think of a better one. I really can't think of a better translation from video game to live action.
Now, is it because it's genuinely a good adaptation, or is it because Bethesda games are already kind of on the cheap side?
My man hit him with the facts. He's like,
Damn. It is a great adaptation. So I think I think the thing that really makes it gives it the ability to do what it's doing is that the Fallout universe itself allows for you to tell a singular story away from the games. Mm-hmm. So the characters you follow have nothing to do with the games. But the way they set up the universe,
that's how it is in each game, though. You follow different characters.
Yeah.
Like none of the games are chronological or congruent. Congruent is the word I'm looking for. Bound to each other. They're they're sequels.
It's just all in the same universe.
4. Yeah. It's kind of like how to the show, knowing I'm like, not gonna follow a particular storyline in the show, or from the games. So.
And it plays in it. The show plays just like the game does. You start off with a vault dweller who something bad happens in the vault and they go outside.
Except for New Vegas, where you just start off as the mailman.
Yeah.
Does it stick with one character, or does it just kind of like...
So it follows a handful of characters. It does follow a handful of characters. It follows Lucy who's the vault dweller. Maximus, who is a member of the Brotherhood of Steel, and I forgot the ghoul's name.
He's the ghoul. You talking about his real name?
Yeah, it's.
I don't want to say his real name just yet.
All right, and it follows.
I guess you could say his name. His real name was Cody. Was it Cody? No, Cooper.
Cooper. That was it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, his name it's not a spoiler for his name. That's right. Because we didn't really find out his name until later. Or at least I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah,
but his story was. Because you kind of thought like he was just like there to be the antagonist, but like his story was.
Yeah, he's got an amazing story.
Dude, Walton Goggins finally getting some light. I've always liked him as an actor. He usually plays a good ass villain too, a good ass just mean, like somebody that you just want to hate, especially in Django. When he was in Django, you're just like, I just want to hate him. But he's probably the coolest fucking dude on the planet too, man. I like him. I'm glad like the Fallout happened and he's getting some fucking light. I'm like, yes, let this man get some light. He needs it. I thought he was gonna have a small role, but he has like. I feel like the side characters have a bigger role and better plots than Lucy, and so that's what I was gonna say. Like I felt like her plot was getting this, just getting everyone, all the side characters into the frame, so that you can then follow their stories, and then their stories were fucking dope. Because your Maximus story,
I didn't like Maximus's story.
It was okay. You're right. But the ghoul story is fucking dope, and her brother's story is fucking dope. Because like that's when I started getting invested. Like when he started investigating some shit, I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be a good ass show.
Oh. What happened, Chris?
My man got Thanos stamped.
Oh no.
I gotta scratch an itch, and I don't want to pick my shirt up in front of everybody.
Hey man, whoa, I got a couple dollars. Dollars make a holler.
Some of your
No,
venom.
listen. What he's going to be showing is not seeing the sun. It'll probably glow with like ultraviolet presence.
The beacons have been lit.
Who turned on that black light?
Gondor calls for aid.
All right, so also throw this out there. So for anybody who doesn't like woke content, quote unquote, there's only two things in the entire show that fall into that. And one of them's a reverse switch bait on you. A reverse bait and switch. Wow, dyslexia. Yeah. All right. So the first one, the main character. I say main character, but is she the main character?
She's the main character, especially like how yes. So the show, like how like the show kind of starts off with like her story is kind of, just
her story kicks it off.
Like her story, that's what I'm saying. Her story kind of kicks it off, and to get everyone else's story into it, and then you start following everybody else's story, and you're like, damn, these subplots are like better than the main plot. And then in the finale, you're kind of just like, oh shit, her story is actually like all the main plots coming together, like from an unseen perspective. Okay. And now she's back to being the main character, and she's going to be like,
all right. So the reverse for her is when you meet her, you think she's going to be a Mary Sue. And that terminology is used broadly to say, like, this character is going to be absolutely good at everything. They're never going to fail. They're never going to have any character growth. And when you meet her, that's what you think about that character. And then she ends up spending the entire series just getting her ass beat.
She couldn't do a single thing, right? But you're right. Yeah, they started it off and she was like showing her off, and you're like, okay, so you're good at
nothing.
Yeah.
Because the opening is her, like, she's kicking everybody's ass in the ball. She's like the best martial artist. She's the best sharpshooter. She's like the smartest person there. She's obviously the prettiest. Actually, her cousin was pretty, very pretty as well. Anyway, but like, yeah, she was perfect. And then she exits the vault and is just having mud on her face the entire time.
Yep. So they did the reverse bait and switch, because usually it's, I've never done anything, and then here's a trial, and then, okay, well, that was easy. So they did a reverse on that. The other one is going to get me canceled, but I'm going to say it anyway. So there is a they them within the Brotherhood of Steel.
No.
Yes.
You're talking about his friend in the beginning?
Yeah.
No.
Every time they refer to that character, they refer to them as they.
No, they were calling her. They said her straight up.
They never did. I've watched it twice.
He needed to verify, so he watched it the second time.
I didn't recall.
But that's it.
I don't need to pay. I don't.
And that character,
they do that.
That character gets maybe 20 minutes of screen time in 8 episodes.
I'd say 10.
And also in that universe, mutations happen, so it can almost make logical sense. I'm just lighting up. I'm just building the pyre for myself. I know I am.
Everything she and her all the time, but it doesn't bother me either way.
It is what it is. But that's it. Like, everything else in the show is just a good show. It is over the top. It's super campy. It follows.
Sorry, continue.
Like, I can't really say there's anything wrong with the show. There's a couple of like plot holes that we'll talk about later on when we get to the spoiler side of things. Mm-hmm. Well, it's not really plot holes, but it doesn't make sense because one of the main characters should have been dead within like 5 minutes of meeting him, kind of thing.
All right,
we'll get to that. But overall, I'll give the show a solid 7.5, 8 out of 10.
I'll allow it. Yeah, it was good. I thought it was good. The cinematography was good. The humor was good there too.
Okie dokie.
Like, in the very beginning, and I know I said this in the chat. Like, they made an incest joke, and I thought it was funny. It was funny. It was good humor. And I mean, yeah, because it was real. They were in a vault. They're all. It's been hundreds of years. They're obviously there's gonna be some incest at some point. But I made a joke. I was just like, yo, man, a lot of people who lived, like, they were just like okay with it, just a little bit more incest,
like second cousin kind of stuff.
Were they like first cousins?
I don't remember. I don't.
It's like, he's just like, I love you. She's like, it's fine when we're children, but not long term. I was like,
like she put that hammer down quick.
no, because I was like, if you're going to talk about incest, I'm like, you're okay with them fooling around as kids, but as adults, I'm like, I don't know.
But all right. So we're gonna hop into some spoiler stuff now. So if you don't want any spoilers at all, go ahead and back out now, including any co-hosts. If you want to back out now, go ahead. All right, I'm gonna give you 5 seconds. All right, spoiler time. All right, so Maximus should have been dead the moment he stepped foot in Philly.
Why you say that?
Because the ghoul could have one-shot him. His aim was impeccable, and he knew all the weak spots of the armor.
Oh, that's right. Because they did that in the finale. He did that in the finale. He was taking him out left and right like it was no big deal. You're so right. That's just... Okay, that's a little bit of plot armor. You're right. Literally plot armor.
I thought they did the Brotherhood of Steel amazingly. Like, that was on point. The fucking doctor. Lucy's like, how the hell am I going to drag your ass there if you did? Just take my head. Like, I recommend, like, the whole show. Like, I binged watched it the entire season when it dropped. And then I started watching it again with my wife. And the funny part was I was watching it with my wife and she goes, let me guess, this is happening, this is happening. She was nailing all the plots. I'm like, stop. Like all of the Easter eggs, like the one gas station is in Fallout 4.
The Red Rocket?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Is it that same gas station? I don't know. But
the show did a good job with that. Like how, like in the Halo series, I mean, I only got like through 3 or 4 episodes of that. But like how in the very beginning, of the Halo series, they're doing everything from the game. They're having like all the sound effects, you know, and weapons and everything. And then it kind of just tailors off and they just do their own thing just with the Halo tag on top of it. Whereas in Fallout, they kept things and they kept having the game references throughout the entire show. They kept the thing, like, they had the Pip-Boy the entire way. And that was like the main thing.
Yeah. That was one thing I did appreciate is they did keep the Pip-Boy relevant the whole thing. Like, there is so many things in the show that do not work in reality, but they work as game mechanics that they just transferred to the show. Like, right away.
Yeah. Yeah, the right away.
Or the stem shots.
Or the serum that he got to fix the squire's foot at the end. I watched that happen in real time. I was like, holy shit.
See, like, I didn't know if they were going to go that route or if he was just like hallucinating that it felt better.
Right?
Like, when he got the arrow through the neck, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. I mean, the doctor like gave it to him, and then he was just like, "All right, bye, dip." And I was just like, "Yeah, there's something to that."
Like, I just thought he got a high and ripped him off, you know? Nope.
I thought he was gonna rip him off so many times, but he didn't.
But I think of the main characters, I thought I was going to go into it liking Maximus the most, and he was my least favorite character the whole time.
He was on and off for me. Like sometimes, like I looked at him and I was like, "Yeah, man, you got some height here," and now I'm like, "Nah, I don't like you anymore. You're coming back." So,
yeah, like
Ghoul
I
was
think
obviously my favorite character.
I think for me, like the Ghoul was hands down my favorite character. Just his back.
He might be the main character because it's his story. It starts with his story.
Yeah,
He's the one that goes throughout and it almost ends with his story too.
yeah.
Like his story kind of like converges with Lucy's.
And I don't know if I don't like or love the fact that they didn't go over the board with the mutants. There's only one major mutant, and that was the bear. The bear and the roaches. They did the rad roaches.
So that's what you mean by mutants.
Yeah.
Because I was about to say,
and they did the gulpers.
gulpers.
They did gulpers too.
But they did all that extra budget money went to Rings of Power.
Yeah. Well, see, that was the one thing that like I went into this with like thinking like I am never going to finish the show. I'll watch the first episode. We'll see what happens. And then like 8 hours later, I watched the whole bloody thing. Like that's how it turned out. They didn't put any of the big hulking mutants in there. There was no death claws. There was a death claw skull a couple of times.
Yeah, they had the skulls.
But there was no actual death claws.
You want them to release the whole bag right
No,
away?
no, like I'm glad. It's like they're giving everybody something to look forward to. And the overarching story, or Lucy's overarching story, is a Fallout story. It is very similar to the story of, say, Fallout 4.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just reversed. Because in Fallout 4,
You unfreeze in Fallout 4.
yeah, you unfreeze in Fallout 4 and somebody steals your kid, and this time somebody shows up and steals your dad. But then you realize how
I was referring to the freezing portion.
you're breaking up there, bud. You're lagging. You're lagging hard.
It's just frozen. Oh,
Well,
Got Thanos snaps already like an infomercial from the late 90s.
I didn't get snapped. I just left. Am I better now?
yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
I said I was referring to the freezing portion, not about the kidnapping portion.
Just kind of looks like you're on dial up. It's okay.
You're clearing up. You're slowly clearing up.
Coming to you live from AOL.
7.0.
We're starting to look a little DSL now.
Back up to cable. All right.
Just in the shower.
But the other thing I think is I think the one thing that kind of drove me nuts is everything gets fucked up. There is no good outcome to any choice made.
Yep.
Like, there's no, like, this is the show of these are the consequences of your actions.
So it's Rogue One, the TV show.
Kind of. With the same producers as The Boys.
So nothing works out. The main character is actually less important than the side characters. And it's a bait and switch on a concept. So yeah, it's just Rogue One.
I mean,
I'm not saying that precludes me from watching it. I'm just saying, like,
so like overall though, in my opinion, is it worth the watch? Yes. Is it the greatest show you'll ever watch? No. Is it a fun show? Absolutely.
Yep. Definitely have fun there. entire time.
Because I think the thing that really sold it as the Fallout universe is they held nothing back when it came to the campy. Like, if it was campy within the games, it's in the show. Because, like, the Fallout universe is a representation of what the future would have looked like from the 50s. And they portray that in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you get that feeling from them.
I didn't really like what they were fighting over, though. In the end, because, like, you know, I guess the package. I mean, it depends on how spoiler we're going.
Let's hold off on that part. Like, it could have been something a little bit more.
No, because I mean, I can understand it was very important technology. It's very important technology. It's very good, and it can be great. But at the same time, you know, they still had, what was it, like the big yellow bulbs, the power cells. You know, they had those power cells, whatever, that powered the armor.
Yeah.
And then that powered the volts. That powered the volts for a couple hundred years, and they only had, you know, that one volt only had one. So like when they took it, they're like, oh, we got to take it back.
Yeah. And it just happened to be the same one used in the armor.
No, it didn't. Because he had his stolen. Remember?
I know he did, but it just happened to be the same exact model from the armor.
Well, I think that's what they had. The power units just.
Well, that's
universal.
a Fallout tradition. I mean,
Yeah.
you can take the power core from a nuclear reactor and put it in your pants and let your pants go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what they were. The power cores or whatever. But yeah, they needed the power cores, and they had power cores that were powering things for hundreds of years. They called it the old world technology, and you know, so on and so forth. So then, why did they really need the package that was at the end if they already had, you know, power cores that were?
I guess maybe because it's
volts and everything for hundreds of years.
I think it's mainly more because it was the full package, not just a portable version of it.
Wouldn't a portable version be better to have?
The portable version is great if you're running, you know, your T-70 power armors or
powering an entire vault for 300 years.
Yeah. Or do you want to power an entire city?
Those ones were pretty fucking huge.
I think that one was more of an exception because most of them aren't that big.
I guess.
Because remember, the one in the show is technically 3 volts.
The doctrine of the Brotherhood of Steel is that they will possess all the technology. They don't care if it's benevolent. They don't care if it's making your life easy. They don't care if you're a nice person. They want it. Mm-hmm. It is their sole purview. There's tech zealots.
Yeah.
The Omnissiah does not approve.
Yeah, basically. The overarching story of the Brotherhood of Steel, I enjoyed. I just think Maximus's story was a little lackluster, or Maximus's character was lackluster. Because he kept freezing.
He kept freezing?
Yeah.
In the moment, he froze a few times, but there's, you know.
Like, he always came against whatever he was going against. It was just more or less, he didn't know what he was trying to do.
That's fair. He didn't know his path.
Yeah.
He didn't know who to trust.
And he kept failing up.
He was failing up hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just my perspective on it. I thought Lucy was great. Her naivety is played out amazingly on how, you know, little she understands of the actual world.
Mm-hmm. She was broken at the end, though. She was like, fuck this place.
Yeah. Yeah, especially when she shot that one person.
That was sitting at the table?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was it. She might as well rename herself. She's no longer Lucy. She's a completely different person.
Yeah. But, like, she had great character growth. I don't think anybody else had the character growth that she did.
You see the Ghoul's character growth, but
A little bit.
It's over a longer period of time.
Yeah. You get more of him from flashbacks. And I think season 2 is going to do more with his story if they do a season 2, which I don't see how they won't. But his story was fantastic.
I feel like he's got to be the main character, man. 'Cause like he's got to be, man. There's no way, because like it's almost like his story is what's driving everything, and his story is gonna be, because what he's looking for and who he's trying to find.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be very important. And show up at the end of season 2. Fucking.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. Because nothing got answered for him.
Nothing got answered for. Oh, well.
Like Lucy's story was kind of like wrapped up.
I don't think her story is wrapped up.
Chapter 1 of her story got wrapped up pretty nice.
Yeah, definitely part 1.
Yeah.
But then also another part of her story ran off. So we got to deal with that.
Yeah. But all right, we'll wrap it up there. We won't get too much deeper into spoiler territory. Thank you all for coming and watching. We hope you had a good time, and we will see you. A little bit of housekeeping. We will not have a show the next 2 weeks. All right.
Okay.
That's fine. I won't be here anyway, actually.
All right.
So got some family stuff coming up the next 2 weeks, and I don't want to have to like blow it all off just so I can run or do the show.
What? That sounds like a win to me, man.
That's fair. Take care of your family.
So all right. So thank you all for coming and watching. We'll see you again in 3 weeks.